Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Charity First Handicapping Challenge. And boy, the excitement factor here at Santa Anita, the great race place, is off the charts. It's like, whoop, whoop, whoop. Happy, what's going on?
George, I walked in this morning and there were people everywhere. It was like things were back to normal. I didn't even know what to do, but very excited. Obviously, for today, the fans are back. And then tomorrow, 12 race cards, 6 stakes. It's going to be unbelievable. And we have 2 great guests today. So I'm happy, brother.
We got fantastic guests, and they certainly know each other from working together pretty much on TVG. It's a pleasure to have them on. And you know what? People ask me, what was one of your favorite moments this year? I was like, so far, one of my favorite moments was watching Christina Blacker going crazy when Hit the Road. When Hit the Road won, she went bananas. Her first grade 1 win for Dan Blacker. What an exciting moment.
It was really fun. But, it's one of those weird things that when you go back and watch yourself, it's kind of like when you hear your voice on the answering machine. It's a really painful thing to watch. And I didn't realize I looked so angry when I'm cheering. Like, I was really mad. And it was also kind of bizarre because I was completely alone. There was nobody anywhere. And so you think about, like, you're cheering for a big race. You usually have people around you. I would have loved to watch the race with Dan, but I was all the way on the other side of the track. And then as soon as he hit the wire, I couldn't yell and really scream because I was afraid they were going to open my microphone at any point. Something I shouldn't. And so I just tried to lock it up really quickly. But it was so exciting. And I just still get chills thinking about it. And Hit the Road's doing great. He's been back working in the mornings, and he is going to most likely be headed to Keeneland next weekend for the Maker's Mark. So that's exciting.
Christina, I can tell you, because I was going to ask you about that. I've known you for a long time, and I know you don't like watching yourself back, but that was one of the best moments I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Honest to God, your reaction and knowing you and how fired up you were, and you not knowing the camera was on you. It was one of the best TV moments, honestly, I've ever seen. It was great.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. I put a video on Twitter of Dan's assistant, Emily. So Emily's not the assistant sort of in the barn, but she sort of manages everything for him, works with the partnerships, all of the owners that would be, involved with Hit the Road. Kind of Emily is their person if they need tickets, whatever's going on. Emily went nuts. I mean, that video is 10 times better than mine. Yeah. I'll reshare it again so you guys can see it.
You got it.
Another factor for me personally, Chappie, and it's not because you're on the show, Christina, not at all, is that Dan Blacker is one of the nicest trainers I've ever met. With my 7 years as a jockey agent, Dan Blacker is a gentleman. He's so nice. He's so easy to root for. So when, him breaking that grade 1 barrier, it was just double special to me because of how wonderful a man and such a hard worker that Dan Blacker is.
I really appreciate that. I think that, Dan has always made a great impression on a lot of people. And I think it really takes a good horse to show what you can do. And I'm really hopeful that Hit the Road is the horse that kind of connects those dots for a lot of people, because I think many owners would consider giving him a chance. But you want to know if he can train and manage a good horse. And I think this horse is the example and kind of the resume builder that he's been waiting for. And so fingers crossed, we'll hope it continues.
Yeah, I think the doors are opening, and he does as good of a person he is. He's a terrific trainer too. So seems to all be coming together. But I'll never forget that moment, honestly.
Doors are opening. How are things at Woodbine? You guys are doing pretty good over there.
We're doing okay, but we're nowhere near to having fans back like you guys are. In fact, recently,
really?
The provincial government applying the emergency brake. So we're actually in a lockdown situation again. So it's going to halt racing at Woodbine Mohawk Park this weekend, guys. After tonight, we're done for who knows how long. We're hoping that opening day goes as scheduled for the thoroughbreds, but we'll have to just wait and see. And by the way, you cannot put a hidden camera on me to watch any race, whether it's a 5-claimer or a $5 million race. I cannot keep it as PG as Christina did, because I get a little bit upset if I don't get the ride that I'm looking forward to. But yeah, that was a great moment, and it was authentic, as talked about, because you didn't know. So it truly was reality TV. Congrats.
I'll tell you what about the hidden cameras. George and I are on the same hallway, and we sometimes have the same bets. I know you couldn't put one on me, but for George, there's a 4-letter word that flies quite often when he gets beat at the wire. So
move. Oh, okay, never mind.
That would have to be at Showtime or HBO.
Yeah.
And I curse in English and Spanish if I lose. So it's bilingual cursing.
That's it.
Really. That's how I lost my track announcing job. Anyway, we're really excited here at Santa Anita. Of course, today we welcome back our fans. And as many of us in the industry, we know that we have gotten a bunch of new fans. During this COVID, as terrible as it is, we've gotten a lot of new fans, and they've loved the sport. They're going to be coming to racetracks around the country, and it's our jobs to market our sport, to make sure they have a good time, and hopefully they'll have a great time. Saturday, we got 12 races, 6 stakes, the highly anticipated Run Happy Santa Anita Derby. It's going to be fantastic. With Life is Good out, now instead of a 4-horse field, we got a really nice field, a nice wagering race. And starting in race 7, we have a mandatory payout on the Rainbow Pick 6, and that could reach $5 million or more. So, Chappie, it's going to be a tremendous day tomorrow here at Santa Anita.
Yeah, I was looking last night, and I'm sure you guys have both. Christina, I know you've dug into it already. It's amazing to see 10 horses in the Run Happy Santa Anita Derby. You don't see that often, but once Life is Good was out, everybody came piling in, and that's a tough race.
It is a really tough race, and I took a look at it because we did a little webinar for Equibase and for Stats Racelands yesterday. And one of the questions off the top was between the Wood Memorial, the Bluegrass, the Santa Anita Derby, what's the best betting race? And now it is the Santa Anita Derby. Unfortunately, we don't have Life is Good, but for everyone else and for the bettors, it becomes a great race. I like Rock Your World in there, guys, trying the dirt for the first time. I mean, he's been so impressive. I don't think we're going to get that 10-1, but I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do on the main track.
That was a good work the other day, Christina. I watched it on XBTV, and it was sensational. So you could be onto something there. I mean, the guys won it 9 times, Bob Baffert. So, of course, I'm going Baffert, but not the one you might think, though. I like to fund it.
You're not going with Medina Spirit? Who are you going with, Jay?
I'm going to fund it. I really think that horse is legit. I really do. And I know that was just one win, and now you go from a maiden-breaking effort all the way into, graded stakes company, the top, basically the 3-year-old chain. But Mike Smith, he's won 3 in a row, right? 4 overall. I think the Funded's a nice little sneak play at a price.
There's a few of them in Rock Your World I'm very intrigued by. And the funniest thing for Defunded was the day of that race, we had Bob Baffert on our radio show. And if you guys remember, another one of his horses was very highly touted in that race, who actually got DQ'd but ran second. But he said Defunded wants longer. And if you go back and watch the end, that horse was just rolling late.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think there's something there. I really do. And 8-1 on the morning line, I believe. But
Stop, Chappie, stop.
I am going with Medina Spirit because has done nothing wrong, has beat everybody except Life is Good. The only 2 losses were against Life is Good. And last time beat all those Rock the World and Rock this person and Rock the other person and Shake My Shake and all those guys. And apparently had a partially blocked epiglottis. I know when my epiglottis is partially blocked, I can't do anything. So,
no bueno.
yes, definitely. All right.
Real quick, what about the Pete Urton horse that was so impressive first time out? You got to give that horse a look again, right back, right, Christina?
Yeah, I think so, Dream Shake. I think that all things considered, he ran pretty well last time.
Yeah.
I think that was kind of a lot to ask, stretching out, taking on one of the best horses in the division. He ran 3rd. I think he ran well enough to see that you're seeing that progression from him. It wasn't the breakout race yet, but he's improving. And when you're going against, what looks like the top of the division, you got to take that into consideration.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that, first out was just so impressive. And I know that was only 1 turn, but Pete Urton horses don't do that first time out. So, and like you said, he was battling Medina Spirit for second to halfway down the lane. So I think it was a big move, and it's just going to be an interesting race. I can't wait for tomorrow.
All right, but today we got a very interesting competition between Jay Porty and Christina. And for the fans who are watching this for the first time, it's a charity event where we're going to be donating money to Karma, a fantastic charity, worthy organization that takes care of these magnificent equine athletes after they retire. Each one of our contestants is going to have $300 to play with in mythical money. They're going to play $100 to win on a horse, They're going to play a $50 exacta, either straight or exacta box or part wheel, and a daily double, either straight $100 or two $50 double. Now, last week we had Steve Cawthon on as one of the guests. He turned his $300 into $4,090. It was the biggest amount that we've ever had on the show. Stevie Cawthon crushed it. I mean, you know, he's still the kid, man. He's still the kid. And but today we're gonna try to beat that. And I love Christina, one of my favorite moments. But now it's on, Jay Porty. She's the enemy now. Okay, let's show her how to hit the road. Let's show her how to hit the road. Here, let's start with your win bet. $100 to win. Where are you going and why?
Well, first of all, I got nothing but love for Christina, so I can't be mean. You know, that's just not the way I roll. But for my win bet, I'm actually going to go to the finale, guys. I'm going to go to McWhirter. And here's a horse that, you know, nothing against Jessica Pfeiffer, but she's a learning rider. You're going to go from a 20-year-old learning rider to a seasoned veteran in Rispoli, and I think he's third right now in the standings behind Pratt and Hernandez. You know, I just think gets back to its preferred surface. The horse didn't look out of place on the dirt by any stretch of the imagination, but kind of bothered me the way the horse didn't switch leads for the first time in his career. Getting back to the turf, I think, is going to help out this horse's chances. You talk about Rispoli and a chance to combine with Doug O'Neill, 4 for 8 at the meet, I do believe. And yeah, I just really feel like the tactical speed is there, and this horse is going to be sitting in a good spot. A chance to get a little bit freshened. The works coming back are good enough. The price, I hope it's not too skinny, because this horse has shown a bit of a tendency of, you know, not finishing off his races, kind of, you know, regressing at the end. And I know we keep bringing up the fact that he's a foal to Wildman Jack, which is nice to talk about, but he's got to get a little bit more greedy down the stretch. And maybe today's that day to wrap things up, going 6 furlongs on the grass. I'm hoping he can pull up a bit of an upset, because I'm pretty sure Pratt and Miller are going to go off as, Nerves of Steel's out, you said, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, then, heck, never mind. Scratch it. That's right. You told me that off the top. So it's going to crush our price, but hopefully I get a win and just get on the board, and if I'm not, by that point.
All right, McWhirter, and, you know, obviously, even though it was the dirt, encountered all kinds of problems last time out and still delivered a pretty nice run. But now Rispoli, one of the best on the grass, 3 for 7 in the Doug O'Neill barn. Rispoli is on fire, and one of the best turf riders I've ever seen. He's just fantastic. So I love that move, and I think we're going to end the day with a winner. Chappie?
And the Doug O'Neill barn has been heating up as of the last week or two, so that's for sure. But all right, Christina, where are we going with our $100 win bet and why?
We're going to go the race prior, race number 7 on the card. So it is an allowance event, mile distance, and you have the return of Crystal Ball in there. I think she's going to take a lot of money. She's actually been working with Country Grammar in the morning. He's a horse that Chad Brown used to have, ran very well in the Travers, is now with Bob Baffert. But she's a daughter of Malibu Moon out of a Giants Causeway mare. She clearly wants distance, but she's just big. And I think she might benefit from having a race to get going. So I'm going to take Pharaoh's Heart in there for the win bet to the outside. That's the 5. She'll be a short price, but my original win bet, who also would have been a short price, scratched today. So we'll take Pharaoh's Heart on the stretch out play. She's a daughter of American Pharaoh. She's out of a pulpit mare. She's been really impressive in her first 2 starts. She was a winner first time out. She ran second in her last race, but she came out of that race with a very minor hoof injury, just kind of a little bit of an excuse, but not something that would slow her down from continuing on with the progression. If you look at her in the paddock, she got a lot more of that pulpit in her. She's really thick and strong, but I think the fact that she's had the 2 sprints to the route will prepare her well for it today. So I'll take Pharaoh's Heart to the outside for the win bet.
All right, I like it. Pharaoh's Heart, like you said, first time out, came out of a very productive race. Second and third place finishers both came back to win. Then last time out had a nice second and 2 sprints to the route. I know that they're very excited about this horse, Mark Glatt barn. So we're not gonna be 6-5, George. I think Crystal Ball is gonna take a lot of action as well. It doesn't matter. As long as we get it in the win book, that's all that matters. So Pharaoh's Heart for us, buddy.
Good to see Johnny V, who's going to be spending the weekend here, and with all the big races. He's obviously a big-time rider, and takes over for Rosario. Looks pretty good. But in that race, there's a horse called there's a filly called Crystal Ball, and my Crystal Ball says that we're going to crush this exacta. Hey, Porty, bring it.
I hope you're right. We're going to go to race 5. And by the way, as beautiful as tomorrow's card is, this one is brought to you by Run DMC, because I think it's tricky. I mean, this card is so and you know what? I struggled trying to find some winners, and hopefully it works out. But race 5, I'm going to play an exacta. I'm going to put the one on top, Bella Ranella. Last time, same draw, has the rail, and she fought. She fought for a horse that was away for 6 months. I think she tried her eyeballs out, and just got beat by a horse that was second off the shelf for Hernandez and Hess. No shame in saying that. That horse has now won 2 in a row. Just a bit of a spot play here. Second off the shelf, and the tactical approach from the inside, as talked about. Don't have an overly strong opinion about this race, but it's where I landed, so I'm going to put her on top, hoping she takes just a bit of a step forward. Show me that fight again. The fronts were on last time out, and that bothers me a little bit, but hopefully they're not on today. Underneath, I'm going to put the 6, Secret Maneuver. She needed that last race after missing, 16 months, I think it was. So she should move forward, second off the bench as well. And then I love horses in a race where a lot of them are struggling, just to find something positive. And she was able to break her maiden last time out. Hopefully she doesn't bounce off that effort. So I'm going to go $50 exacta, 1 over the 6 and 7 in that 5th race.
1, 6, 7 in a race that's tricky. But hopefully we'll get the job done there. Chappie?
I noticed he's picking the one on top with Kent DeSormo, who had a couple nice wins last weekend at the end of the week. And he looked like Superman again, which you're going to have to be Superman to beat Christina today. So, Christina, where are we going with our exacta and why?
We're going to go to the 8th race. We're going to round out the day with the exacta. So originally I had Nerves of Steel in this exacta because I was pairing him up with a price horse that I really like, and that's the 4, Nizar. Nizar is a first-time starter. He is a 4-year-old gelding. He's by Surf Cat, but he's out of the Sleepy Mare Anna Christina, who has produced 2 siblings that have won turf sprinting. They have a record of 3 for 7 turf sprinting between them. She's also produced 4 debut-winning siblings. 4. Wow. Now, look, this horse was only a $5,000 purchase. I don't think he, was wowing them at the sales, because when you have a mare that's producing like that, obviously he would have gone for a little bit more. But I did look at his works on XBTV, and he looks all right. I think he looks just fine. And I think when you have that kind of pedigree, it comes through, it shines through. So I think Nazar not only could be a win candidate, but could hit the board today. So I wanted him in the exacta. And then I was okay with using a short price horse to kind of pair up. Without Nerves of Steel, I'm just going to pivot to the other Peter Miller. That's June Gloom, the 2 horse who stepped onto the turf last time out, got away slow, didn't have the best trip. First time over the crossover. I think there's a lot of learning that happens in that first race. So we'll give June Gloom another chance. So 2-4 in the exacta box in the finale.
Quick question for you guys. On the 4, the trainer there, is that an assistant, or do we know who
that's
that
Paul
is?
Aguirre's. Paul Aguirre's assistant.
Oh, Paul. Okay. Gotcha. You got to figure with Maldonado, right, sending is in order, right?
Sending is in order, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and put it this way: if we hit that exacta, George, it's lights out, game over. Yeah. That's all I can tell you. So, I'll take it. I love it. 2 8-1s.
Hey, so Jason, man, I know you like Christina and everything like that, but she just dissed you, man. She took McWhirter and just threw that one out of the exacta, bro. He was like McWhirter, and he's wonderful. And Christina said, "Oh no, you didn't."
I can handle the tough love. I can handle the tough love.
Come on, now. Let's take her down.
In the words of Dave Weaver, chuck him out.
All right, good.
Jay Porty, you got a daily double. Where are you going with and why?
The first 2 on the card, the first double opportunity. Right. So I'm going to play a little twirling candy double, if you will. And in that first leg, last time I checked, the 6 So Much Happy was cold, like 10-1 on the board. I know it's early, but still not a good sign early for that one. But I just think with, the blinkers coming off, Lasix going back on, I'm just hoping my man Papa Padromo is going to have this one ready for my second favorite, George, of course, and drops in for the lowest price tag. I know the blinkers come off, but this horse is so fast, so I'm not worried about the blinkers coming off. The speed is still going to be there. I mean, 20 and change, 43 for the half. Obviously, now you're stretching things out. Just take it easy going around 2 turns. I think could be a horse that's gone on the front end. Then the second race, Twirling Derby, a horse you probably should stay away from. But I think just might be meeting the right group. Once they get up to 10, 11, 12, 13 tries and they're still a non-winner, a professional maiden, I stay away from those types. But it's a type of race where, yeah, just might be the right group. Betito will likely be the lone speed, but I don't think wants to go that far. There's nothing in the pedigree that says distance is going to be there for this one. And I don't know about Johan Zoffany, I should say. Johan Zoffany, I mean, yes, I get it. Drops down from the maiden special weight ranks, but why? It's kind of a curious drop for me. You know, first time tag, first time on. We'll see.
Why don't we ask Christina?
Why don't we ask Christina?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I just, I had to throw it back at her, right, George? I had to give her one back.
There you go.
In all fairness, I talked to Dan this morning about the race. And I was like, look, that twirling derby could beat you. Like, he's faster.
Oh, okay.
I said that. And so, look, we're dropping because he needs to get a win. This horse really should have won that last race at Golden Gate. I mean, it looked like it was right there within his grasp. And there's just some horses that, need a little softer company to try and get over the hump and get that win. And I think Dan's done everything he can for him. And so now's the time. You got to just get the victory. But I think you're on the right horse in terms of who could upset him, because I looked at that last race from Twirling Derby. I think it was a good one. I think you consider he was 6 lengths clear of the third place finisher, who comes back in the race today. But the winner was dropping from 40 with 60 cents on the dollar. I mean, he did everything he could against a horse that was much better on paper coming in. So yeah, I'm very worried about Twirling Derby for ours.
Way to go, Porty. Unbelievable. You're
I
picking
can get her back a little bit.
Wow. It is on now, George. All right. Christina, where you go with our double?
So actually, I like Porty's horse Balleronella later. She's part of my double. So in race number 5, I will take her. I think she's just improving right now. Like he said, she ran a good race last time out. She needed that. Her number pattern on Thorograph is on the way up. I always talk about that first-time 4-year-old angle that was applicable to her last time, and I think it kind of sets the table for where she could be for her 4-year-old season. So I'll look to her to kind of continue that pattern in the 5th race. And then in race 6, I'm going to take a couple of horses. Let's see. Hold on. I'm backing up. I'm closing it out with Balleronella. I'm starting with the 2 and the 10 in race 4. So I got ahead of myself there. The 2 Ian Glass in race 4. I think the cut back to 6 furlongs helps. Not only does he get a little bit of class relief, but he also has speed and shortens up. It's amazing what that half furlong really does on these horses in terms of the turf sprints. 6 furlongs to 6.5 is a big difference. So I like him. And then to the outside, I think Facts Matter is also intriguing. He runs off the claim for Renee Mescua. Renee Mescua is 24% in turf sprints overall. It's not a huge sampling. He's 5 winners from 21 starters, also 52% in the money. And I think horses that like synthetic, they like that little bounce. They like the turf. They like to feel their feet rattle a little bit. He has turf experience. He has a couple wins. I don't love the outside post. I think he needs to clear from that spot, but I'll use those two to begin the double, and then we'll close it with Balleronella.
All right. A couple more prices. I like it, George. Should be an interesting day today. That's for sure.
All right. In the event that our handicappers end up in a tie, it's a possibility they could end up in a tie. We're going to go to race number 6, which is going to be a very nice race to see if they have a tiebreaker. We did rock, paper, scissors before the show, and I won. So, Jay Porter, you got first pick in a race where, don't forget, number 7, Galovi, who would have been a big favorite, is scratched. So now it's really a wide open race. So tiebreaker, all you have to do is pick a horse that's going to beat Christina's horse, whether they come in last or next to last. Who are you going with?
I'm going to go with the favorite, equal measure. I think this horse is going to appreciate not having to deal with that other rival. I really couldn't find much else in the race, maybe the 3, but I'll go with the favorite. I'll take the 6.
All right, Christina, who's your selection for the tiebreaker? Which we're not going to need, but just in case.
I will take the 3. I think she's quicker. So at the least, if Porty's horse doesn't fire, she'll have a lead. Hopefully she can hold on.
Okay.
Fair enough. Yeah, I agree.
All right, sounds good. Hopefully we won't need that race, but hopefully we'll make some money. If anybody turns their $300 bankroll into over $1,000, we're going to give an additional $500 to Karma. So hopefully our handicappers will do well, and you'll do well to listen to our handicappers. day in and day out. They really bring good information. And for the most part, just about every week, they have turned their $300 into some significant money. So it pays to pay attention here. Tomorrow, I think my guess is going to be Toby Terrell. Who you got tomorrow? He's got
Gino Bacola tomorrow.
Bacola. I love Gino.
Yeah.
That's what G said. I love that guy. Yeah. And so we're going to have some two great guests. But we had two great guests today. Thank you very, very much, both of you. Jay Porter, you got like stars coming out of your head behind you there.
Yeah, that's the
yeah, woo, out of this world. On Mars tomorrow. That's like a lunch plate. And Christina, oh my, one of my favorite moments all year. Congratulations to you and Dan getting that grade 1 winner. Many, many more. We wish you many, many more. And hopefully you guys will do great. Chappie, any last words?
No, I appreciate you guys coming on. And it was fun today. And let's make some money. And I know we're all looking forward to tomorrow. Tomorrow should be a great day, great card. And it's just nice to have fans back.
Yes, I agree. Thanks for the invite, guys. Anytime. Christina, best of luck.
Yeah, it's good to see you as always, and stay healthy. And I hope that you guys are back racing very soon.
Yes, sounds good, guys. Appreciate it. Have a great day and have a great weekend.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Bye-bye.